At New Balance football, what we really try to do is like obviously function comes first. The boot has to perform for the modern game, and that's why we focus in priority. But at the same time, we don't forget that we really want to elevate the design and be a little bit more unexpected, be a little bit more unique, and a little bit more bold in the product that we offer. And I think that's definitely what we delivered in Tekela V3.
All right, guys, so I'm with Luke Fusaro, design manager at New Balance Football. We've got the Tekela V3. All right, so maybe you can tell me a little bit about what the design process was behind this shoe right here.
Yeah, definitely. I think for us, I'd even grab that boot to start with, because I think, we often have the same design process as a design team, boot after boot, and this time actually it was like one of the most exciting design processes we've done. We really tried to like have something that's completely new and unexpected. What we've actually started with is we looked into nature and bio-inspiration to really try to like move away from the geometric shapes that you can really find in any of the boot on the market. We're just really interested in these intriguing shapes that you can find in nature, and we thought, how can we find a way to control that and to actually recreate it? For that, we really tried to look into creating our own software, looking into the mathematical equation of the pattern creation for this really organic visual, and we built our own software to be able to control that design.
So what does this represent necessarily? What are we holding here, and what are these colors? What
exactly.
do they mean?
So we collected data from passing, shooting, and strain data. So strain is how the upper stretch. And given that we introduced our first laceless boot, we wanted to make sure that we use the Kinetic stitch in a way that we can control the stretch in some of the key areas. So you can see actually 4 key areas on that boot. The first 2 are going to be about strain data around the methods. That's where the upper stretches the most, actually, on the lateral side and on the medial side.
Right, when guys are moving to turn,
exactly, cutting movements, rotating, all those really key movement that changes direction and that really define what is the enigma, the Tekela player. So what we've done in this area, you can see that actually the Kinetic stitch is a lot thicker and a lot wider than in some other areas than for example, the heel, where not much is going on.
It's needed,
so that was really about stability. And the 2 other zones that we have is we have a first one, we have a zone of passing. So this zone right here technically is really all about the biggest and the highest contact point for passing. And what you have here is actually the shooting zone. So we've learned from data collected from players when they pass and shoot and identify those zones, and you have the 3D strike zone that's really going to help you elevate your shooting skills.
So now if we then bring that in, maybe now to what we have more as the final product, maybe you can tell me how you guys took that and applied that to this portion right here, and how we just see the design. We have that raised portion right here that you spoke about, and maybe you can tell me why it looks how it does now.
One of the first things was retaining the upper technology we use in V1 and V2. But again, trying to really shift the idea of Kinetic stitch and making sure that we really explore as much as we can. So what we have on the Tekela V3, we have a full coverage of the Kinetic stitch, but this time with a really organic visual, something that's really new. And then we've elevated the strike zone with a 3D dimension.
Now, is that to give more power to my shot, or is that just to control?
It's not necessarily to give more power or control. In Tekela now, we want to shift away from control, power, all those keywords. We want to go more towards the idea of filling the game and the idea of amplified sensation. So what we want to do with this strike zone, actually, both in terms of the visual, but also the dimensionality, is to give you the visual perception that this is the best zone for you to shoot and strike. But the other thing is also the sensation you're going to have by shooting through the strike zone. You're going to learn from it and try to actually apply it to your own skills and express your own talent on how you can best use that boot.
Tell me a bit about the sole, though. I think we have the sole right here.
Yeah, again, that was something that was really interesting for us, is how can we be a little bit unexpected in the design and the decoration technique that we bring through Tekela V3. And at the time, we were playing with the idea of lasers.
Okay.
But in that case, like how can we actually, sometimes some of those uppers and decoration techniques, such as paint and chrome, they get damaged pretty quickly, and then
they wear out.
And it wears out. It's not really a pretty plate afterwards. And we actually saw like, how can we use a decoration technique that actually turned that into a positive, and maybe instead like reveal something even cooler. And so we use laser to remove one of the first coat of paint and reveal like another design that you have like from the footbed side. So what you have is actually you have again this really unique organic design language throughout the plate that would reveal a gradient from yellow to red and be something really unique. And one of the great things, as you've seen this morning with laser, is actually you're completely unlimited with the amount of design you can do. That was great for us as part of the design process to really explore multiple designs. But also you can think about externally becoming a tool for customization and writing your name, putting a logo, a number, pictures, anything that you can think of, like any graphics you want to apply to your own design and express your personality.
What would you then say is the biggest strength of this shoe? Now, is it in its sole plate? Is it in its overall design? Is it in its speed? Or is it just that it functions perfectly for me as a footballer, and when I go to the pitch, I know I have a shoe that's going to be perfect for me in any situation? What is it that is the greatest strength from this shoe?
I think it's really a combination of different things. I think the first thing is obviously how we evolved the Kinetic stitch. The second thing is the idea of Laceless. That's our first Laceless boot for New Balance. And I know that there's a lot of questions around the idea of Laceless, and that's something we really wanted to address with the construction of the Tekela V3. And we've built actually 4 layers of stability. So the first one we talked about, it was the 360-degree coverage of the Kinetic stitch as the first layer of stability. The second one is the construction of the U-thread. We have an internal gore piece that we're going to adapt to any type of foot shape. The third one is we paid a lot of attention to our material selection for the heel and the contour and the foams to make sure that it prevents any heel slip. And the last layer of stability that we bring is through the sock liner and or InfiniGrip technology that prevents any in-boot movement. So figuring out this idea of laceless construction was really key. And then after, like as I said, it's a combination, because it's not only a bold and confident visual that we go with, it's not only a laceless silhouette and construction, but it's also a visual that's really confident and scream fearlessly audacious. And I think, the last thing that you can see is actually, the first thing that you can see is the oversized N logo. We wanted to be the boldest representation of New Balance performance and have maximum on-pitch visibility. And so that's why you have like a really oversized N logo, which really screams New Balance. And then again, like the New Balance lettering, which is really the identity of Tekela. That's been the case in V1 and V2. So.
Awesome. All right, guys, so it's been an amazing day getting to meet the design team behind these great boots. New Balance's mission was to create and design a boot that allowed the player to feel the game, and they've done just that. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out everything we got at ProDirectSoccer.com.